Rich Risto here, and I am a wanderer. And today I want to ask the question: does tea have a place in beer as a potential ingredient? But before we do that, we're going to have to actually talk about Chinese beer. So, let's look at this. This is Tianmahu. It is a Chinese beer from Changzhou. Now, this is from Liang. Um, there's no need to actually point out the address. But Tianmahu is um, emblematic of problems that Chinese beer has had historically. And mainly, one of the things is right here. Look at that. The alcohol by volume is 2.5%. 2.5%. Most other beers are like 4 or 5. And Tianmahu is not the only Chinese beer to do this. Historically, Chinese beer, for the most part, other than maybe Qingdao and Harbin, has been 2.5% alcohol. Why that is, frankly, is a video for another time. This beer comes from Changzhou, specifically the county level city of Liang, which is a natural tourist destination. Southern in the Changzhou prefecture, and prefecture only means that there is it's upside down on the can. Prefecture just means there's a city that controls other smaller cities. Again, what that means is a video for another time. So this is a Changzhou beer from Liang, a county level city to the south, sort of near Zhejiang province, I believe. All right, let's crack this open. The thing is, Tianmahu is a beer that I don't like. And I think I'm going to put this next to Mao, right? And I'm going to put my glass here. And I think as I pour this, I think you're going to figure out why immediately this and other Chinese beers like it are not really all that good. So let's pour that. I don't think there's going to be much head issues with this. And with beer, it's always safe to pour slower than to pour fast because head issues. All right. Well, there's a little bit of a head, but still, let's take a look at this. Look at how watery this is. You can see Chairman Mao through this beer, right? Depending on the context of the glass, you get funhouse mirror sort of shenanigans. Now you have Mao and his doppelganger. But anyway, yeah. So just the color of the beer is a pretty good indication of how it's going to taste. So let me take a taste. I'm trying to get Mao back. All right, Mao's back. Very watery. Very watery, not a lot of flavor. Though I got to say, this particular one is not as shitty as other Tianmahus that I've had. But yeah, and again, the reason for the low alcohol content, video for another time. So, all right, we're going to put that to a side. And now let's consider this. This is Baby Jasmine Tea Lager. This is made by Master Gal. Now, Master Gal is a craft brewer from Nanjing. And it's to the point where Master Gao now has a distribution deal all over China where they're starting to appear in international supermarkets without having been sold to some corporate jackass like Budweiser. Of course, the can is very colorful, very, very nice, where that is boring as hell. But yeah, so what Master Gal is known for is trying to make craft beer that infuses signature Chinese flavors into the beer. Like, so flavors that Chinese people are used to, that they're comfortable with. And so this is a lager infused with jasmine tea. I should have looked at this ahead of time. And you may not be able to see it, but I can guarantee you. Ah, they don't have to hide the 2.5 because this is 4.8 by volume. All right, let's crack this open. Oh, and it's a pull tab. All right, and we're going to get the lovely cherubic side, and we're going to set that by mouth. And with my glass. Now, let's pour this. And again, I'm going to be slow in my pouring because you never want to mispour a beer. It does a disservice to the beer. Silence. All right. Now I've poured the beer. Answer me this question. Can you see Chairman Mao through this beer? No, you can't. So obviously, this is less watery than the typical Chinese 2.5% piss water beer like Timahu. Let me take a sip of this. Here's the thing. This is a lager and not an IPA. And IPAs, let's be frank about that. IPAs have a high level of bitterness to it. Again, taking another sip. There's a level of bitterness that comes with IPA, you know. But then again, this is a lager. You can taste the lager in it, but it's a lager that kind of tastes like a weak IPA. And that's not a criticism either because tea, and we all know that China is a big producer of tea of all varieties. When you don't put when you don't put sugar or milk or you don't add anything to it, a lot of times tea, like coffee, when you don't put stuff into coffee, has varying levels of bitterness. So that allows a lager to sort of have a familiarity of an IPA without being an IPA and not having the bitterness levels of an IPA. While dealing with a type of ingredient, jasmine tea, that Chinese people are very comfortable with. So the question, again, another sip, sorry. Does tea, specifically jasmine tea, does this work in beer? And the answer is hell yes. This beer, these two, have more personality and character and uniqueness that, frankly, you probably couldn't find in America unless they exported this there. And who knows, in 20 years, what may happen. Whereas this, again, I can't resist playing with Mal's face through the beer. Whereas this has no personality. It tastes like a beer that's been watered down. Again, now, let's finish this off. Let me put that there. This here. Put the nice side of the can there. And this. So that we're thinking, like, let's just make this shot a little bit more frame worthy. All right, so the question is that I started with, is tea a viable ingredient or flavor profile in a beer? The answer is absolutely. I have no problem drinking Master Gal. It's a good beer. I just swallowed a burp there, I think. Anyway, it's a good beer. And so I hope that answers the question. Well, thank you for watching this video. See you next time. And if you're a wanderer like me, travel safe.